Shalom, may all be well with you on this day. So, I have been reflecting more on forgiveness, which is helping me heal old wounds and mature in being quick to forgive. Because honestly, being quick to forgive offenses was never my strength, particularly offenses that were done on purpose or just happened with little to no care about me as a person. It's been hard because my thinking used to be I'm not just going to quickly stop being upset and forget what happened. Why should I do that? Depending on what it is, why should I forgive you ever? But I have learned through the years of my spiritual journey why forgiveness is necessary, and have brought specific people and situations to the Most High to release offenses to Him. I've also learned that overcoming unforgiveness is not a linear path, especially if you've allowed it to stay in you for too long. After being directed by someone kind of recently to address unforgiveness, I started examining myself in this area again. As I talked with the Most High and wrote my thoughts about what I was relearning and reflecting on, I realized I still hadn't fully processed certain emotional wounds, even though I was mentally distant from what caused them. So, analyzing that realization led me to really grasp not only the importance of forgiveness, but particularly being quick to forgive as soon and as much as possible. There have been many offenses from my childhood into adulthood, whether through personal and social relationships, school, work, strangers, that I took too long to forgive. This means I delayed healing the emotional impact and didn't fully feel my emotions in a lot of cases. By the time I matured enough, somewhere in my 20s, to start intentionally working on unforgiveness, learning from others, feeling my feelings, reflecting, talking through my thoughts, the emotional wounds I accumulated up to that point had a lot of time to shape my inner world, down into my subconscious, down into my nervous system. Even though how I initially felt during those offenses had calmed down over time, and I was learning more about consciously choosing forgiveness, the anger, sadness, shame, and fear that lingered in me after certain experiences had already turned into deeper wounds of resentment and bitterness. And each new wound I encountered as I've gotten older only reinforced them. So, this created a type of tug of war between the beliefs, thoughts, and behaviors I want to grow in to practice forgiveness and other virtues. Unpacking these things at this stage of my life really gave me clarity about how prolonged unforgiveness does change your personality over time. In my earlier years, it wasn't just that I didn't believe I needed to forgive every person who upset me. I also didn't know how to choose forgiveness while still being emotionally wounded, and how to get free from those wounds other than letting my feelings calm down over time and changing my interactions with some people who caused them. But then what happened? The external negativity that came with those wounds internalized in me with traits of insecurity, anxiousness, being overly cautious, pessimism, anger, being withdrawn, changing how I saw myself, changing how I saw people and connected with them, and how I responded to my circumstances. So, when you learn from a biblical perspective that the Most High wants us to forgive and not delay in forgiveness, it's not about Him skipping over the need for justice. It's not about Him minimizing the need for you to be treated with respect and kindness. Forgiveness is first about protecting you. Forgiveness is a decision that you're going to let go of any hurt that impacted you because you won't allow it to make a home inside you. And you're letting the Most High hold the weight of this offense. That includes yielding to His way of addressing whatever the other person said or did, which may or may not involve you knowing how or doing something. Forgiveness is deciding that I'm going to intercept these emotional wounds from becoming resentment and bitterness. And I won't allow this negative energy to access more of my inner world than it already has. I won't allow the wound of this offense to have a say in the beliefs I hold, how I'm wired through my nervous system and thought patterns, and my behaviors that create my life experiences. Forgiveness does not mean quickly suppressing your emotions and stop healing. Inner healing is a process. that helps you be honest with yourself and restore your authority to live with a sound mind and a clean heart. That's going to give more room for forgiveness to live securely in you. When we don't prioritize forgiveness, emotional wounds get harder to identify the more they blend into who we are. It gets trickier to connect the dots of what caused them as we move through more life experiences, and they often take more effort to get free from the further back they are in the past. So I've had to let go of a lot through the years so I can grow more into my true self because I deeply want to be free. I want to live as the best version of myself from the inside out. So I know me and unforgiveness cannot be like two peas in a pod. We're all going to have things that we need to forgive. And if that's where you're at, I hope what I shared helps you figure out what you need to do for yourself to get free and stay free.